The fort is an installation that was built in phases. It wasn't designed by any one architect. It was a combination over different periods of time. During the enhanced period of French revolutionary activity in the region, it was considered essential by the British to store up their fortifications. The ideal site was Fort George because of its location overlooking the sea, overlooking Scarborough, enabling the British to have advance warning of the arrival of enemy ships. Construction was started in 1771 by then Governor Macartney. Then the revolutionary activity intensified around Tobago, and so by 1779 it is not complete, but it had to be halted because of the French invasion. The British started and they provided the barracks and the kitchen. And then the French took over and they added the powder magazine. And the powder magazine was supposed to hold over 600 barrels of gunpowder. So it is both the British and the French recognized the value of that particular location for defense of the island. And then the question of names. Scarborough Fort, the British called it. And then in 1787, under French administration, it was called Fort Castries. In 1789, there was another name change. The French had the Republican group and they called it Fort Republique. In 1790, there was a mutiny of the radical French troops and they called it Fort Liberte. When it was recaptured by the British, well, they called it Fort Scarborough, and then it was changed 1804 to Fort King George in honor of the king at the time. When the British took possession in 1804, they started to rebuild the fort. And then in 1820, they built the officers' mess. And this is what has been used by the museum.
Tobago Museum is located at Fort King George. It falls under the rubric of the Tobago Trust. But I think museums are quite important in terms of the culture of the people, in terms of legacy. As you realize, if you go through the museum, it's quite a diverse approach in terms of its collection of artifacts and things of interest. You have people who have come and think that their stuff bears relevance to Tobago based on where they come from. They would have had ancestors who would have been from not only Africa, but also from North America, from Europe, and as such they would like to share that part of their heritage with Tobago. I must mention that the original curator, the only curator the museum has ever had, was one of our icons, Tobago icons, Edward Hernandez. I think it's very, very important to maintain his legacy because of the fact that he established this museum. We think that is one of the best museums in the Caribbean, and we think it's probably one of the best kept secrets in Tobago. I think it's very, very important educationally in terms of finding out about our culture, where we came from, what has happened here on this island. It's a treasure trove of information.